Hello there, everyone, and thank you so much for coming back. Today I have a very special build to show you. Kimberly asked me to build a high school. I was very apprehensive about building it, but I tried to make it as realistic as I possibly could. If you want to see how it turned out, how I designed it, and how I built it, stick around because it's coming up next. Being really honest, I was not that excited about doing this build. You know how much I love doing family homes and builds like that. So when it comes to commercial builds, I'm kind of challenged with those larger commercial builds, especially. But once I got in my head what I wanted to do with this, I got really excited about it and I just got going and it turned into this. So I'm taking you around the high school first on the exterior, and then I cannot wait to show you the tour of the inside. This is the area where they would play basketball, and also there's a sitting area out here. So it's sort of like just an outdoor area for the students, and I put an S there for Sims, I guess Sims High School, and it does light up at night, which you'll see here in just a minute. But this is the front again. I realize that is a coat hanger on that sign, but we really don't have any building signs. So we'll just use our imaginations and pretend that it's just some kind of symbol for the high school. But this is the area where you would drive up. Now, in real life, you would be able to drive back out that way. It would just go in a different direction. But again, using our imagination, that would be like the pickup and drop off area. And then right here is where I have put just some teacher parking. And I guess the students are just going to have to all park in the street. But we can only do what we can do on the game, right? So this is what it looks like at night. You can see the teacher parking lit up over here. And then coming back around the side of the building where the basketball area is, you can see the S lit up over there, which would symbolize the name of the school. So let's go back into day mode and let's take a tour of this school. So it has 3 levels, and I'll let you know at the end other things that you could do with it that I didn't do. So in this lobby, you'll see just what I've put here to sort of represent a trophy case and the elevator, and that's pretty much it in here. There's a couple of the red rugs there as they walk in, and on either side you have the restrooms. So I tried to make it look exactly like what a real school restroom would be, only on the nicer side. I did use the paper towel holder and the hand dryers, and I only had 4 of these stall doors here, so I did use these on the stalls downstairs, but I had to do something a little bit different upstairs for those restrooms. And here you can see on the ladies' side over here, we have a sim, which we could probably just assume is a teacher drying her hands. I really like these dryers too, the hand dryers, so let's have her do that real quick. And we'll move on with the tour. But yeah, I think this looks pretty realistic. And then you see the stall doors over here as well. And then coming back through the lobby, you can kind of see how it's situated on the lot. And of course, I've used the side of the lot as the entrance for the school. So coming through the double doors here, I think this is actually my favorite part of this build. I think it looks realistic, and I spent a lot of time in here designing this cafeteria. So you have what really looks like to me student lunch trays, and then over here is where they would pay for their lunch or scan their student card that already has the money loaded on it. And then there's that little area over there that would have where the students can buy extras to add on to their lunches. And then as you can see, the tables and chairs go all the way back to the other end of the room. And I chose those tables because of the actions that you can do on them, both for the cafeteria and the classrooms, because I just thought it would look realistic if the student could maybe finish their lunch and use their laptop to do some homework or studying. For the kitchen, again, realistic to me anyway. I love the fact that these counters have the warmers on the end, so it just looks like where they would store the food and then set it out on the trays. And then over here I've carried the stainless steel onto this side of the kitchen with the sink, fridge, and stove. Let's get a better look at it here. And they also have a separate door where the cafeteria workers can enter and exit the building separately. So adjacent to that is where you would see the little doorway there, sort of the window to the cashier, and where they would sit and tend the cash register. And now I'm just giving you another overview of the cafeteria. I am rather pleased with this area. I had a lot of fun making this portion especially. So this doorway takes you into a little vending area with just some soda machines and snack machines there. But it also takes you into a longer hallway where I've put the lockers. I tried a few different options for this, but I settled on these. I just thought they looked a little bit more realistic. Obviously, we don't have lockers in the game, so I had to just do the best that I could with that. Now, instead of doing a chemistry lab, an English room, different classrooms like that, I have made 4 main classrooms, one for each grade of high school. So this would be the 9th grade classroom. You can see there's a teacher here and a student. And yeah, you can only have 10 Sims on the property, so we'll just imagine this is after school and maybe she's in detention. I don't know. But since you can't have a lot of people in the building and I couldn't fill up the chairs in each classroom for the video, we'll just imagine this is after school and there are still people in the building doing activities. This is the 2nd classroom here. This would be for 10th grade. You can see how that's set up. I did put the chalkboards a little to the side of where the teacher's desk and the TVs are because they look like they're on rollers to me and they could always just roll the chalkboard over if they weren't teaching on the television screen. So that is the first level there. So you have the entry, the restrooms, you have the cafeteria and 2 main classrooms there. And then I'll give you the back view here. And then back there is, of course, the basketball court and the outdoor student area. This is, by the way, on a large lot. So now we're going to come up the elevator and you come up to a landing. I used a chalkboard over here too, but I turned it around because maybe you could imagine that's where they would sign up for clubs or they would post notices for meetings or after-school activities. And then on either side of that landing are restrooms as well. They're a little bit different of a size than the ones downstairs, and also, as you notice, I don't have any more stall doors, so I just used those spa doorways that have curtains so that they could just pull the curtains closed. That's pretty much the best I could do without putting full doors on there, which, by the way, you could do if you wanted to do, but I just opted to use those doorways. Through here is a small hallway. These stairs were an afterthought, and I'll explain that in just a minute, but you enter another hallway just like downstairs, only the lockers are off to one side. And then over here to the left, you'll see this old kind of rusty door. This is the broom closet. I just stuck a vacuum in there, but you could put cleaning supplies or whatever you wanted to in there. And this is the 3rd classroom. We'll call this for the 11th grade. So each classroom set up a little bit differently. And I put that skateboard poster there because it reminds me of one of those motivational posters that you see in classrooms. But this is not a classroom here. This is actually the computer lab. I did put a teacher's desk in here just in case there are several students in there that needed to be monitored. And then coming down the hall into this door, we have the teacher's lounge. So I have put a coffee machine in here. You can see him grabbing an espresso. There's a couch in here, a phone, a corner TV, and a refrigerator where the teachers could put their own lunches. And there he is, he's grabbing a coffee. I guess he's working late tonight. And then coming over here through this door is the teacher's private bathroom. So it's just a smaller version of a restroom, and it doesn't have any stalls. It's just a his and hers teacher's restroom there. So you see the stairs here, which I'll explain in just a second, but then we come to the 4th classroom here, which would be for grade 12. So we have a teacher working late and a student here as well, maybe doing her homework and working on a project, or maybe in detention, who knows. That you can see each one is set up just a little bit differently. All right, so I thought I was finished with the school, and then I remembered it doesn't have a library, and I don't know of a single school without a library. I thought about the basement, but I decided to put it up here, and I'm glad I did because it made the shape of the building just a little bit better as well. So you come up and you have the librarian's desk here and lots of baskets where returned books would be taken and then put back on the shelves. They can even check out old records. There's some magazines on the wall. And then we have several bookcases over here. Just a little aisle of books down this way. So yes, it's a small library, but remember, it's a small high school as well. And then I put a couple of these coffee bars here, not for coffee, because the students can come up and get on their computers. Remember, you can tap that and have them do that. And I put that here by the librarian's desk just in case they got a little unruly. because in here is a private room for more quiet study and reading, or maybe even club meetings or things of that nature where they would need a little bit more privacy in the library. Now, as for what I could have done, I could have also done a band room, a chemistry lab. There are several more things you could do this school if you wanted to recreate it. You could make all of those in the basement, but that's just a thought in case you want to make it your own and redo it. And if you do want to recreate the build, an excellent starting point would be here, which is over 7 and up 8, and that would be the lower corner of that bathroom stall. But I'll give you the order in which I actually built it. I started with this entrance here, and then I came back here and built the cafeteria because I knew that would need to be a pretty large space. And I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way in case I ran out of room on the build, if that makes sense. And then I built on the kitchen next. And then I came over to the left and built on the cashier area. And then that left me that little bit of rectangular space there on the left. So I went ahead and built on a restroom and the 2 little bathroom stalls, which gave me a neat little corner on that side of the building. So then I came directly across the lobby and just replicated the restroom in reverse order with the toilet stalls there. Then I had that little space here, which I knew I needed as a connector, so I put the vending machines in the small hallway. Then I made the large hallway and then the classrooms on either side of it. So then you come back to the lobby. And of course I had the room above where the landing is because I needed to put the elevator, but then I just decorated that and made a balcony here instead of just making it one big room. And then there's the small hallway. Remember, the stairs were an afterthought. And then I went ahead and put the hallway in here so that I could add the classrooms on. And then I added the first restroom on the second floor here and the stalls, and had a little bit of a space left over. I didn't want to make a third toilet stall, so I just put a cleaning closet there in that hallway. And then I built on this classroom up here. And then I knew this space would be too skinny for a regular classroom, but I thought it would make a perfect computer lab, and it did. And then this area here as the teacher's lounge, and then a teacher's restroom right here. And then I went on down here and I built on the classroom for the 12th grade. And then I came over and just brought up the restrooms, just like there's one downstairs below it, and the stalls. And then there's a little bit of an extra space there, but you could just use that as storage. And then I thought of the library, of course, so I put some stairs there in that little hallway and built on this library here. 11 by 10, pretty good size library, and then the study and meeting room beside it. And then the rest of the roof I just put as balcony. See, you can just see all around there. You don't really need the measurements because that's what you're going to end up with the rooms. Now we'll look at how I designed everything as far as furniture and decor. So you saw the entrance there. We have the cafeteria here, which I absolutely love. I think it looks so real. And then you can see where I've put some counters in front of the other counters on the other side of the doorway to put the student trays on. And there's the kitchen. And then adjoining that is the cashier area. I've also put a place over there for some extra plates and cups. And then back out into the lobby, you come through the door to the first restroom with the stalls there. And then if you come through the cafeteria and through that doorway, you have the vending area and the other restroom here on the other side. And then here is the hallway downstairs with the lockers. And then you have the classrooms on either side. There's the 9th grade, we'll call it. And then the 10th grade classroom here. And remember, that's just from my imagination. You can make them however you want to. And there's the landing where you come up the elevator with the memo board there. And that's the little hallway with the stairs up to the library. And then we have the large hallway here with some more lockers. And then we have one of the upstairs restrooms and the little storage closet in the hallway with the vacuum. And there's another classroom here. We'll say the 11th grade. The computer lab over here. Next door to that is the teacher's lounge and the teacher's restroom. And of course, at the end of that hallway with the stairs that go up to the library, you come into the last classroom here. And on this end of the building, these restrooms, and then the extra little storage space there. And then you come up to the library, and this is how I've placed everything in the library. I didn't want it to be too crowded, but I definitely wanted to get those bars in there where they can work on their laptops. And then you just have a plain meeting room there with some light fixtures over the tables. And as I mentioned before, there's so much I did not do with the school. Use your imagination. This is just a very basic template for a high school. But I do feel like it's a good starting point because, like I said, you could add a basement or another floor even and add so much more to this school and make it your own. And Kimberly, thank you so very much for requesting this and for your patience and waiting on the list. I know the wait is very, very long, and you're just always so sweet in the comments and encouraging. And I just wanted to say a special thank you, and I really hope you liked what I've done here. Everyone else, if you've enjoyed the tour and you like the school, please let me know by leaving a comment or a like. I sure do appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you so much. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.